What's going on, everyone? So, one of the big talking points this offseason and upcoming NBA draft is Bronny James going to the Los Angeles Lakers, right? The Lakers clearly want Bronny. They want to bring Bronny in for LeBron James. You do have some other teams, like Phoenix is supposedly interested in landing Bronny. Apparently, Bronny had an excellent workout with the Phoenix Suns and really impressed Phoenix based on the recent reports. And there's a lot of talk about, like, hey, do the Lakers draft Bronny at 17? Is he the guy that they're going to draft at 17 just to ensure that somebody like a Phoenix or somebody like that doesn't end up taking Bronny? Or do they, maybe trade up, right? Do they try to get multiple picks? Does Bronny end up falling into the second round? Now, look, I've talked about this since last year, right? That I believe more likely than not, somebody is going to take a flyer on Bronny. And not even for the LeBron James factor, right? Because even just from a financial standpoint, Bronny makes a lot of sense for some of these teams. And if you're one of these teams that essentially like is picking in the late 20s to, early 30s, you're looking at it as like anybody's going to be a flyer regardless. This isn't a very strong draft. This is a draft that's looked at as like everybody's kind of a gamble, right? So why not take the gamble on the guy that even if he doesn't pan out, you're going to make probably a couple $100 million on just Bronny being in the league. And then you're going to have all the media talking about like, oh, is LeBron going to leave to go play in Phoenix or Milwaukee or whatever, right? Like, so if you're one of these teams that's looking at it as like, okay, like we could draft a guy, that may or may not become something in a couple years, or we could draft Bronny, who again may or may not become something in a couple years, but also maybe LeBron comes. If not, we'll probably make a bunch of money with Bronny being on the roster, right? And all the hype and publicity and stuff. Like there's incentives beyond just like the basketball side of things, right? And then Bronny he does have a lot of the skill set and intangibles that you want to see from a young guy, right? Like he has his father's athleticism, he has his father's court vision and IQ. He has a lot of things in his favor as far as like the potential of him becoming something. I'm not saying he's going to become a superstar or even an all-star, but he's even talked about, could he be a Drew Holiday, a Derek White, right? Like that's fine, right? Even if he becomes like a Marcus Smart type level. Right? He doesn't necessarily have to be a superstar. He doesn't have to necessarily be a top 5 guy in the league. All teams need a guy that can defend, at the point guard spot or multiple positions, make plays, hit the occasional shot, right? He doesn't have to necessarily be elite. He's already got the defense at an NBA level. So there is this applied pressure, especially with Phoenix and everything like that, for the Lakers to draft Bronny at 17. But reports have came out that the Lakers do not intend to draft Bronny at 17, which is good, right? So again, going off of these reports, which is from Woj, Lakers not eyeing Bronny at 17, LA not considering drafting James with the first round pick. So this, to me personally, is good because I get the pressure. I get the concern. I get you wanting to draft Bronny and kind of making LeBron happy. But two things. One, I still maintain that the Lakers are probably trading that 17th pick. I don't necessarily see them keeping it. Could they? Sure. I just don't believe that they will. I believe that they're going to end up trading that pick. That pick will end up being packaged with whatever else to go get a star or, a various role player or whatever, right? I don't think that they're going to keep the 17th pick. Again, I could be wrong. Maybe they do. But even if they do keep the 17th pick, I believe you got to get somebody that's more ready-made now and somebody that makes more sense at positions of need, right? Like if you can get Bronny at 55 or you could trade up to go get, Bronny at like 30 or whatever, or, you buy a pick or something, like if you can do something like that, sure. But I think at 17, if like a Zach Edey's there, which the Lakers are working out and are interested in, if he's there, I think you got to go grab him, right? You go get somebody like that. I don't want to see the Lakers just essentially waste a pick. And look, again, I think Bronny has potential to be a very good player in this league. And I think with him playing alongside LeBron James would expedite his career faster than anywhere else, right? Because yes, I'm sure LeBron works out with his son now, but it's different when you're like, when you got to go to work and you got to do all this stuff regularly. And so you're only working out with him and helping him develop in certain moments and spots throughout the day or the week or the month or whatever. It's another thing when you're on the same team and all you guys have to do is work out together and go through film together and go through the weight room together and shoot around and practice and all that stuff, right? Like LeBron could just take the time the next 2-3 years that he's with the Lakers and really help steer and grow and develop Bronny in a way that I don't think anyone else necessarily would, because it's his kid, right? And so I do think it would do wonders for Bronny if he was able to get with the Lakers, because he could basically now just basically shadow himself and glue himself to his dad. And we saw what like LeBron was able to do with Rui within, a couple months. Imagine what LeBron could do with Bronny over the next few years of just Bronny's 24/7, 365 working out with his dad. It just makes things easier across the board. But I just think, again, if you got to get somebody that just makes more sense in a position of need, right? If I thought Bronny was the 17th pick, then sure, I'd be all for it. If I even thought he was, close. Like, let's say it's like, he's probably not 17, but he's like 22nd, right? He's like, a top 20, top 25 player in the league. Then sure, like, unless somebody like unexpected, like, Topic is like available and it's like, man, like he was a lottery pick, but the injuries, like maybe we take him. But like if it was just like if Bronny was perceived as like a top 20 guy, top 25 guy, then I'd probably be like, just take the flyer, just do it. Want to make LeBron happy too. How much better is anyone else that you're going to draft than Bronny 3? Like but that's not the case. He's probably, yes, again, I do think a team may take a flyer on him, but it is also possible that another team just ends up, that like Phoenix ends up passing on him with 22, takes somebody else, and then, he falls in the second round, the Lakers are able to grab him. So to me, it's just like, if you have a Zach Edey that's there, or, you get a Holmes, or you get, a Ware or something, like, I just think you keep those guys. Like, you got to go get the big fella. You got to go get the position of need. Go get a perimeter guy, whatever, a 3-and-D guy that makes more sense. Somebody that's more ready now, right? Again, if they took him at 17, would I be like furious? No. Right? Because again, I don't know how much better anyone is. And also it depends on who's available at the time. Because like, what if everybody that like makes sense for the Lakers is off the board? And then it's like, okay, well, we're taking a flyer with this guy, or we're taking a flyer with Bronny. At that point, it's like, all right, just take the flyer with Bronny. But I think that more likely than not, you're going to have several options there at 17 that just make more sense, that I think you should go with. And especially, again, if it's a position of need or, a player of need, I think you go get him. I don't think it's super high that Bronny is a Laker, but I also don't think it's incredibly low, right? Like, I think it's like more of like a 50-50 thing. I think either A, a team like Phoenix is going to take a flyer on Bronny, or B, they're not. And then I think the Lakers will figure out a way, again, move up, whatever, buy a pick, whatever, to go get Bronny. That's kind of where I'm at with it. Anyway, as always, this is a discussion. I pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? Do you think that the Lakers, hey, if Bronny's there at 17, draft him? Do you think it depends on who's available, right? Like, like let's say Edey and a lot of these guys that many people want or are more needed for the Lakers, let's say they're all off the board. At that point, if it's kind of like a flyer regardless, are you kind of more leaning towards like, okay, well then just take the flyer that is Bronny? Do you believe that like it doesn't really matter, Lakers are going to trade the pick? Because to me, that's where I'm at. I really do think the Lakers trade that 17th pick. I think that more likely than not, it ends up getting traded. I think even if the Lakers draft somebody at 17, I think sooner or later he's getting traded, right? Like even if the Lakers draft Zach Edey, that's why I keep saying like don't fall in love with anybody the Lakers draft at 17 or can potentially draft at 17, right? Because if the Lakers can move that pick for somebody more suitable for now, then I think they will, right? Like if the Lakers can go get that star, go get that key upgrade and role player or whatever, I don't necessarily see them keeping that 17th pick, right? I think you still need to do your due diligence. I think you still need to work guys out, and starting to hear reports that the Lakers are going to start that process. Again, Zach Edey is supposed to start having a meeting coming up soon and work out. So hopefully that works out. But again, don't fall in love with anybody at 17. But are you like completely against drafting Bronny at 17, or do you think like no, like hey, depends on who's there, depends on what's on the table. Do you think move up, buy a pick, whatever, draft him in the second round, as long as it's not the 17th pick, you don't care where the Lakers draft him? Do you think he falls? Do you think a team takes a flyer on him? Because again, I do really lean towards I could see a team kind of taking a flyer on Bronny James. But again, however you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.